what they'll do is this week they're gonna come up and all draw quarter notes, but we're gonna divide them up with bar lines every 4 notes, because we're gonna learn about bar lines. Now this time, just be silly, and with little children, in an assessment, we do things to find out if we can play with them, because did you know that some children at 6 years old think they're too cool to do anything silly? Isn't that the saddest thing, you know? Or they're self-conscious about doing it because their parents are there or something like that. But I'll do something like when you can take 2 fingers. Okay, can you hold up 2 fingers for me now? And let's dip them in some pretend chocolate. You like chocolate? I love chocolate. Or they say, no, I don't like chocolate. I can see Santiago doesn't like. What do you like, Santiago?
Oh, no, I got allergies.
Okay. So let's make some pretend chocolate bar lines. Ready? Yeah. Say bar lines. Bar lines. Now let's use the pretend chocolate. Was it good? Very good. I like that. I like dark chocolate. You like they might start talking, but that's okay. Give them a little bit of leeway because you're building relationship. It's all about building relationship. Okay? So in the theory, you're going to go through note values first, and then the reason we go after note values to rests. And why would we do rests after note values? Anybody have any ideas? No ideas?
Oh, you just open your hand like this, right?
Yeah, for rests, we're going to reinforce all the note values, because rests are exactly the same as the note values, only they're rests. So if I have a quarter note, then I can learn about a quarter rest. I just do them differently, so it's not a lot more complicated and reinforces, so I can teach about quarter notes. Maybe I'm going to erase one off the board and put in a funny squiggly thing, and this is called a rest. When you're resting, are you loud?
Quiet.
You don't snore, do you? No, if you don't snore, oh good, because they'll say, oh, my daddy snores or whatever. And you'll get your little stories, and that's okay, because you're building relationship, right? And so you're going to share about rest, so you put your hands together, and let's whisper, 1. Very good. How many counts does a quarter rest get? 1. Very good. And then the noisy notes, 2, 3, 4. And then later, what are we going to do? I teach them about a whole note, for example. And now we have 4 quarter notes, and here's a note that takes up the whole measure all by itself. Guess what it's called? A whole note. Say whole note. You didn't know that, did you? Whole note. Very good. So natural to say it. So how are we going to get it takes all 4 counts into one note. What do we have to do? We have to squish all 4 counts and put them in one clap. So what are we going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to squish all 4 counts into one note. So let's clap the quarter rest. Pretend like I have a quarter rest on the board and hold up. Actually, I can do it here. So if I have a quarter rest, because I've erased a quarter note, I put the quarter notes in here, I have my whole note here. So here we go, we're going to start with our quarter rest. Put your hands together. And remember, it's quiet. 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Here it comes all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who thinks they can do that all by themselves? Anybody think they can do it all by themselves? Okay, Joanne, why don't you try? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, very good. Who thinks they can do it and count with their words at the same time? That was so good. Who can do it with their words? Okay, Santiago, try.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Very good. Okay, and sometimes when a child is laughing like that, what would that mean to you as a teacher? If they're kind of laughing, maybe they're having fun, but it might mean something else.
They're nervous.
They're nervous? Good. Or what else? They feel embarrassed or something like that. So be sensitive to any little things that you notice, because then you want to care for them, because we're building relationship. That's right. Okay, so rests I'm going to teach about rests by reviewing the quarter notes, the whole notes, the half notes. I'm going to review all those things, and now I'm going to replace them with a rest. Does that make sense? So we just move on and reinforce those, and then when we introduce the staff, I want to talk about that another time. But at the end of the section of table of contents, you'll see a section there for musical symbols. I love for early music awareness teachers to use, in fact, we should add this to our list of expectations, Jamie.
Yes.
Use musical symbols in the summer. Why would it be a good idea to use musical symbols? Let me tell you about symbols. Musical symbols are things like bird's eye, accent, repeat sign. Those are things that can stand alone, that don't necessarily require that they know anything else. And why would it be good to do that in the summer? Anybody have any ideas? why it's a good idea to do musical symbols in the summer?
You might have a lot of emphasis if the kids take vacation.
Exactly, so kids are coming and going a lot in the summer, so it's really important that we're sensitive to that. And so what we do is we like to concentrate on these musical symbols, but we can still relate them to wherever we are maybe in the class. So maybe we're in note values or staff, all the classes are in different places. You'll find that as you observe, there are different places through these tracks, okay? But my desire is that we kind of begin a new track. The 3 busy times, 3 new enrollment times that we have are September, June, when everybody's doing new summer stuff, and then January when they've gotten through the holidays and they're ready to do. So we usually start a lot of new things at that time. So I like for the tracks to kind of start there. And then the other thing that's important for you to know about the theory is every week I want you to review the previous 2 weeks of music theory, so that a child who's been out for the week before because maybe they're alternating into a piano lesson on the opposite week and they're coming back to be in the theory for the group class to have fun with other kids, they know what's going on, and a new child can feel comfortable. So how much should we repeat, Trevor? How far should we go back and review the previous how many weeks? Anybody who can help him? 2? Previous 2 weeks, so review the previous 2 weeks. Okay, each time you come. Any questions on, so basically your theory is going to move from note values to rests and then into staff, and then with lots of review, and then on into musical symbols in the summer. And in fact, if you go in as a substitute, you might want to just bring a musical symbol in if you don't know what the teacher's working on. Usually we like the teachers to contact you and say, this is what I'm going to do, or we'll email you the handout, but we want you to do musical symbols. Okay.
I'm just gonna share something that I want to make sure people got. So we always want to make sure that the kids are experiencing the thing they're learning in like as many ways as they can. So we learned a quarter note. We didn't just look at one. We didn't just get told it was a quarter note. We said it with our mouths. We clapped it with our hands. We did it with our fingers. We did it on the board. We talked it in funny voices. We did it with our instruments. We might do it with our body. Like, you just try to do every little thing in like 100 different ways, because that'll just reinforce it depending on what kind of learner they are. So whatever you're teaching, even if it's the instrument, if it's, whatever, you will just do it in 100 ways. Listen.
Good, that's a really great point. Because, and when you're doing your observations on the forms that say, is it oral, is it haptic, is it, visual, is it printed, then you would know on one thing she did printed, she did, she did all those things, and we just did that here. That was really, and what we're trying to do is get into the brain however we can, because guess what, all the children are different. And some of them are going to get it through their ears, some through their eyes, and some need all of it to get it. and that makes it more fun too. But that's why you have to be thinking, what kind of creative thing can I do? So your natural creativity is going to find great expression in this kind of environment. Okay, I think we want to, let me just give you a quick overview about instruments, and then we'll talk about how to use our own gifts in action, okay? We have an instrument library here of, and you can go ahead and put your theory books down. And you can, I do have enough instrument books that you can look at. So you can just pass these along real quickly. And these are this artist who's been doing these for, she's been doing them since 1983. Same woman. And so whenever we do instrument, and you can tell they all have kind of the same flavor. And so they're in this book alphabetically. And so what we like for you to do is every class you're going to present some kind of instrument. Now, obviously not all of you, none of us have experience with all these instruments.
So you drew these, she just put them like this, or did she draw
No, she drew them.
No, she drew them and then I edited them and put them in the book format.
Got it.
Yeah, no, I can't draw a stick. It would really be. I can hardly draw a chord note. So we like for you to plan in advance what instruments you're going to use. Now, the general rule of thumb is that we don't use wind instruments in the winter and late fall, early winter. Why would that be? Flu season. So we want to avoid wind instruments, even though we use a very strong germicide that you probably see everywhere at the grocery store or wherever, that even is supposed to kill HIV. And we like parents to feel comfortable and understand that. And some parents, by the way, with wind instruments will say, I don't want my child to blow on anything that any child has ever blown.
Winter and fall, you said?
Yeah, or late fall, early winter, kind of during the flu season. But in the summer, and late spring and summer, it's a great time to do the wind instruments. So that's one kind of rule of thumb. A second rule of thumb is that we'd like you to show at least two, in a month of 4 or 5 weeks, we'd like you to show at least 2 symphonic instruments. In other words, an instrument that you would find in an orchestra. So that would be your violins, flutes, cellos, saxophones, those aren't necessarily in an orchestra,
Can you
but just
repeat that?
a symphonic instrument, we want you to do those at least, and this is in your notes too.
Oh.
In their
You'll have this in your notes,
Okay.
in your expectations, but I just wanted to review that so that I don't want you to do triangle and then tambourine and then bells and then, kazoo, in a month. Because, the parents are, some of the reasons parents are doing this class is so their kids can be exposed to these instruments and help make a decision about what families of instruments are gonna be good at and what they enjoy. So I wanna make sure, and here's another clue. If you know you have a new student coming, make sure you do a symphonic instrument that day. Because that helps the families feel more secure about what we're doing and they get more excited. And when they hear their child blow a trumpet, they're like, wow, that's really cool, where could they have that experience? So, and we have an instrument library and we have a checkout system that we use that you can just email us what year. Do we have that written down somewhere? Yeah, it's in your checkout information. So basically, some teachers, with those rules in mind, 2 symphonic instruments a month and avoiding the winds in the flu season, you can do whatever order you want. You can go alphabetically, some teachers go alphabetically. Some go by family and they just do all the strings at once, then they do all the winds, and then they do, whatever kind of floats your boat. It's totally fine with me. But you're gonna need to learn about that instrument and how to make a sound on that instrument. And so we have some videos that can help you with that. If you have a particularly difficult time with making sounds, particularly on wind instruments, because those are harder, it's not just a matter of how to hold it, but how do you get that sound come out. You might need to have a specialist or somebody help you if you can't make a sound on the instrument. Once you check it out, when you're checking it out, there might be somebody around here that can help you or show you, okay? So I'm gonna let Jamie come back and we're gonna talk about how to kind of pull all the things that we have on our green sheets together.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you present each other, and Joey had to leave early, and I know Lilia has to leave sometime soon, so you can scoot out whenever you need to scoot out. We're gonna present each other, and then we're gonna try to brainstorm as a group, how could their unique stuff that we talked about before, how could their unique stuff fit into being an asset in one of these categories? Like Janice was saying before, if you speak another language, oh my gosh, let's teach some French folk songs in French, So, and even if it's something weird that doesn't seem like it belongs in EMA, let's try to put
And let's
on.
stand up and stretch.
Everybody stretch up and say hi!
Let's bend down and say hello. Let's stretch up and say hi. And go. Bend back down and crash. Whenever you see kids' eyes glazing over like I just saw you guys, that's what you can do.
So, is there anybody who wants to present their new friend first? Okay. So,
Do you want me to just talk and you're gonna write stuff on the
well,
board?
we'll brainstorm after you talk. So,
Okay.
Betty is gonna talk about Trevor.
Okay, this is my new friend Trevor, and Trevor loves to play the guitar and sing. He also loves to act and was in Greece this past year, is that right?
Danny's go in Greece, but I've also been in a lot of other places.
And along with that acting and drama, he loves to dance. And he's done hip hop, breaking and crumping. He's also quite an artist, and he loves drawing, and especially he's good at anime. And let's see. Oh, very importantly, Trevor has a band that he's already started.
Wow.
And their name is Chasing the Limits. He enjoys helping others, and let's see. I asked him what his dream was, and he said that his dream was to become an author or illustrator of teaching God's word in children's books or just books?
Children's
books.
Awesome.
And then also he would love to have a band.
Well, I already have
Oh yeah, we have a band. Continue to have a band.
Actually, I have my band, you like popular or whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't played anywhere yet, but I'm just playing at my house.
So let's take some time, think about Trevor. We might, Betty, we need to re-articulate those things if we didn't catch them all. And what are some ways that Trevor is uniquely gifted to be awesome at EMA? What are some of the skills that he has that can lend itself to some of these areas?
Well, if he's artist, like when you do like whiteboard stuff, you can make really cool like illustrations.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to write that on the theory board? Like cool illustrations?
Illustrate the notes.
Oh, instruments?
Theory.
Yeah. What else could Trevor do?
If he plays the guitar, then he could maybe, he could actually play and accompany the kids as they sing a song.
Ah.
And he'd also be really good at showing them about the guitars and probably other stringed instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd know about the parts of the instruments, so Trevor knows stringed instruments.
Do you need to put Trevor?
No.
Okay.
He likes to dance, so the movements along when he's teaching the singing, any of the music.
Or even rhythm too.
Yeah, rhythm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Is it like the hip hop rhythm stuff?
Oh,
Like that
hip
could be
hop
really
dances
cool.
for the kids, would they love that or what?
Mhm.
Hip hop movement.
I mean, he can even use like the songs that he's learning for solfege. I mean, you know, I don't know what songs he plays in the band, but he can use it to teach,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. So and he didn't put this on here, but I know he's also a songwriter.
Oh,
And so like
okay.
he could, if he wants to, he could write some of his own songs.
Yeah.
Like children's songs.
And they could sing them do, do, so, la, la, so.
Mm-hmm.
That could be on the singing list too.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I think the last thing is he likes acting or drawing.
Oh yeah.
So.
That could be a movement, right?
Mm-hmm. So with drama.
Okay, so he could, drama for the movement part, dramatic songs or
Expression.
something like that.
Mhm. Cool. Yay, Trevor.
Yeah, wow, he's got a lot going for
Who
him.
wants to go next? And share their friend. You want to share Betty?
Yeah, okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Betty. She's a dancer. She likes to do hula, sign language, hip hop, and ballet. She's also an artist. She does like color, like artist color. She does like inside home stuff. And she likes to do decoration on a lot of different things. She's also visual. And she does, what does the BS thing stand for again?
Bachelor of Science.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Psychology.
yeah, so she likes psychology,
And arts.
and art. She has a master's degree. She's a deep thinker, and she likes theology, which is also which is the study of God. She's a missionary in the arts. She lived in Hawaii for a long time as a mission trainer, and she loves different cultures.
Cool. Cool. So how is Betty uniquely gifted in EMA? And I heard some things that would make her uniquely gifted in the kid. I should have made just
She
relationships.
can bring in like ethnic